Hello and welcome back. Today is part 3 of a series on latte versus flat white versus cappuccino versus Americano versus long black. And today it's all about latte versus flat white. Stick around until the end of this video clip. Hot latte versus flat white. All we need would be milk and of course your coffee. No need for sweetener. Personally, I prefer flat white, and flat white originated in Australia. The difference being there is a very thin microfoam on top of the milk. Hardly anything, maybe just the coffee, espresso, and then the milk. But then of course, you'd like some latte art with it. And latte will have a thin microfoam, but not as thin as the flat white. Now, because latte and flat white very similar, for an inexperienced barista and a coffee shop that just started, it is quite difficult to make the difference between the two or to show the differences between the two. So I would say you can make flat white and latte easily different by using different cup sizes. So what I would suggest is that you use a smaller cup size for flat white and a larger cup size for a latte. In this case, I'm using 6 ounces for a flat white, which is also equivalent to this ceramic cup. And then for lattes, a larger cup size, this is 8 ounces, equivalent to this, what looks like a large cup, but actually it's not very large. Let's talk about the texture of the milk for flat white and latte. For a flat white, you need to have a very thin milk foam. And I would suggest that when you steam the milk, you dip the wand deeper into your milk, hardly seeing the tip of your wand. Whereas in a latte, you could see a little bit of the wand, but not too much as when you steam the milk for a cappuccino. All very confusing. So it makes it easier if you simply just change your cup size. Now, in terms of the dose, the time, and the yield that you use for your espresso shots, for a flat white, it's typically stronger than a latte. And the way to do it, I would say, is to change the ratio of your dose versus the yield. I would say because it's a smaller cup size, I'd use a smaller ratio, coffee to water ratio. I'd use a ristretto, 1:1.5. And because most coffee shops these days use a dose of 18 grams, then I would say the yield should be about 27 to 30 grams for a flat white. And for a latte, I would use a larger ratio, coffee to water ratio. I'd use 1:2, and that will be 36 grams out for an 8 ounces cup. Okay, let's go ahead and see in practice. Let's start with the flat white. For the flat white, I have here my 18 grams of coffee beans, and I'm going to pull 27 grams. I've got programmed here, this is about 30, 36, and this is 54. So I'm going to just use the program that's in my machine at the moment, and I'm going to pull for my flat white. And whilst waiting for our coffee to brew, I'm going to also prepare the milk. So I'm using a 360 ml steaming pitcher here. Fill your milk jug just below the spout, and then, or just about the level of the spout, and we are going to steam the milk. As I mentioned earlier, this is the tip of the wand. You want to dip everything, the whole tip of the wand, into your milk so that you don't really aerate it too much. I'm going to use the technique which I count 1, 2, and then I immerse the wand deeper. Okay, so I'm going to do that. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to just texture the milk until it gets hot enough. And this is my milk for my flat white. This is my short shot, 27 grams to 30 grams. And this is my milk all the way to the top. This is my flat white. Now for my latte, I'm going to use the same amount here. Same dose, 18 grams. But I'm using a larger cup, 8 ounces cup here. Now to steam the milk, I'm going to fill the jug just about the level of the spout. And then I'm going to dip the one just below, or just, you can hardly see the tip here, but a little bit. So this time I'm going to count 1, 2, 3 before I immerse the wand into my milk. Okay, so first check aerated, 1, 2, 3, and then double shot of espresso and my latte milk, 2, 3. And this is my latte. Flat white and latte. Now this does not have to be dependent on the skill of the barista, because you can definitely make out which one is which. The difference is in the cup size, because if I look at the milk foam here, they're quite similar. So I'm saying this is the easiest way to make sure that you serve a different flat white from a latte. In terms of taste, I suppose you can tell that the latte will have more milk than the flat white. Short shot, delicious, absolutely concentrated, full body, and I love the taste of this one. Instead of using 1:2 ratio, I use 1:1.5, and I feel it is perfect for hot latte. And for the flat white, wow, this is me, absolutely, no doubt about it. I am gravitating towards the flat white in this case. Although it is much stronger coffee, it really depends on personal preferences. But at least nowadays, if you follow my recipes here and the technique in showing the differences between flat white and latte, as a cafe, you can now offer flat white. Easy enough for you to make these drinks using simple technique. Well, this concludes our part 3 of this series, and the final one is a little bit more complicated. So make sure that you stick around and watch out for part 4 of this video series. In the meantime, take care. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.